Who doesn't love making money while they're watching TV? Well, that's the point of what we're doing here. I'm Will. A lot of you guys know me as Dr. Profit on other social medias. And the point of these NBA PrimeTime Picks episodes is to go through the games that are going to be nationally televised for the NBA slate on any given day. And we're going to go through and analyze both games and give our favorite picks at the end. So today, we have Pelicans at Pacers. We have Lakers and Clippers playing each other. Obviously, it's a home court for both, technically. So let's get into our analysis, and at the end, we'll give our favorite picks. So we can kick things off with the Pacers and the Pelicans since that's the first game, and we're looking at last 15 games, the stats that they allow. Off the bat, we can already see the Pacers allow the least assists in the NBA the last 15 games, and we can go through some film later and analyze why. Now, the Pelicans, on the other hand, pretty much middle of the pack. Now we can go to rebounds. Pelicans are allowing the sixth least rebounds per game, while the Pacers are pretty much middle of the pack. So we can target unders for assist props on the Pelican side and rebound props on the Pacers side. Now let's get into some shooting stats, which is what is the fun part. Let's be honest here. So let's go to general and let's go look at catch and shoot shooting. And again, we'll go look at last 15 games. And we can see why the Pacers allow the least assist, because they also allow the least catch and shoot. And I can pull it up real. Now you can see a clip, and it's going to kind of show what I want to talk about, because the way the Pacers run their defense, they basically took what the Warriors did on offense when they revolutionized the three-point shot, and they basically tried to defend that. They're like, you can do everything but shoot threes. If you want to shoot layups, that's fine. Twos are worth less than threes. But they've overcorrected so much now that it makes any drive to the basket wide open, because we're going to play it here. RJ Barrett obviously has the ball. Siakam should be in a position to come help should anybody get beat. Tyrese Halliburton can come for the weak side. This guy isn't even aware that there is a possibility for him to come help defend. He's playing press coverage on Kelly Olynyk up 40 feet from the basket. So we're going to play this out. RJ Barrett's going to beat his man. First of all, they always go over every screen. So again, it's very easy to get drives to the basket. He drives. Siakam doesn't come help, and nobody else is even in position because they're playing so tight out wide. So anybody that's high usage and drives to the basket a lot, they do well against the Pacers. But anybody who relies on catch and shoot and getting the ball from their teammates, they'll never be open, because the Pacers won't even think about helping on defense to lead to any sort of defensive rotation to leave them open. So that's why the Pacers don't allow any catch and shoot, as we see here, and don't allow a lot of assists, because you don't need to pass it to anybody to catch and shoot when you can just drive in for a layup. Now on the Pelican side, they allow the third most catch and shoot. And this is going to go with what I'm about to show you guys with pull-up shooting. So again, this is last 15 games, pull-up shooting. Pacers are allowing the fourth most, and the Pelicans are allowing the seventh least. And if we want to look specifically at two-pointers or three-pointers for the Pacers, they're allowing the fifth most pull-up twos, and looks like the ninth most pull-up threes. So good for your Brandon Ingrams. Now, the last thing we can check is shots within 10 feet of the basket. And again, going with what I just showed you guys, the Pacers are allowing the second most in the NBA, only behind the Washington Wizards. And the Pelicans, on the other hand, are allowing the second least. So these two defenses are very, very opposite to each other. The Pelicans will say, you are not crossing the three-point line. You can shoot the threes. You can shoot whatever threes you want to. If you try and drive, we're going to stop you. Somebody's going to be open for a catch-and-shoot three, but you are not getting the shot that you want, because usually it's the best player on the team is the one that has the ball and they're driving. So they're basically saying, hey, if you're the best player, you better pass to somebody because you're not getting the shot. Meanwhile, the Pacers say, hey, if you're the best player, please score. We'd rather have one person score than five people score. Both work in their own ways, but I think it's safe to say the Pelicans have a better defense than the Pacers. So maybe one's better at doing it than the other. So what we've established so far, high usage players are going to score a lot against the Pacers. High usage players are going to struggle against the Pelicans. Now, let's see if the play type stats defend that. So against ISO, we're going to percentile is measured by which defenses allow the highest or lowest points per possession. So 100th percentile means they're a good defense. The Pelicans versus ISO, are an 83rd percentile defense. Really, really good. Pacers, on the other hand, are second worst. Again, goes with what we're talking about. But let's keep going through, cross our T's, dot our I's, make sure we're covering everything that we need to. Now let's go to transition. I like to look at points overall for transition because some teams allow way more possessions than others. Pelicans seem pretty middle of the pack. Pacers, for as high pace as they are and as much as they let guys drive, they're surprisingly middle of the pack. So no really big edge in transition defense or offense players. Now, pick and roll ball handler. Pelicans are the third best in the NBA. That's going to hurt Tyrese Halliburton. But on the other hand, the Pacers are the worst pick and roll defense to ball handlers in the NBA. So realistically, lately, that's been helping Zion. For those who watch JJ Redick's podcast, he's broken down the last 10, 11 games. The Pelicans have been running Zion as point guard, which has opened up the offense a lot, but it also means CJ McCollum is no longer running the pick and roll. It's mainly Ingram and Zion, more so Zion because Ingram has also been working on a spot up shooting. But we can see how each team does against the roll man. Pacers pretty much, did I forget? No, I'm on defense. Pacers are pretty much middle of the pack. Pelicans, 70th percentile, about 10th best defense. So no true edge there. Maybe if you want to take a Miles Turner under. And the last thing I like to look at is handoffs. First of all, we can see if any team actually runs handoffs a lot. We can see Pelicans run it a bit. Nothing too crazy. It's 5.9. Pacers hardly run it at all. But again, cross our T's, dot our I's. While we're here, let's get everything covered. Pelicans are the 10th or 80th percentile defense, and Pacers are the 21st percentile defense. So again, kind of goes hand in hand with the pick and roll. So we'll get into our favorite picks for that game at the end. But I think it's safe to say, if you can't tell, Zion is in a fantastic spot, while Halliburton assists is probably in a good spot, even though he had an absolute stinker last game. But with that being said, let's get to the Lakers and Clippers. Because honestly, most of you guys are probably going to be watching that more. So again, opponent, last 15, and here we are. So Lakers have been allowing the second most assists per game, while the Clippers have been around middle tier, but they're still lower than average, or worse than average, I should say. So both assist props for both teams are in play. Now, in the rebound department, Lakers are allowing the third most, while Clippers are allowing the 12th most. So RA props are 100% game in this scenario. Now let's go to shooting stats. And this is where it's going to get interesting because both teams they haven't stuck to one identity this season. Both teams have been kind of all over the place, so it's one that you want to keep an eye on pretty much every game that you research any game with these two teams. So we'll look at catch and shoot first. I really only like to look at threes for catch and shoot, but the Lakers, after allowing some of the most all season, they've somehow crept down to actually better than average and allowing less catch and shoot threes. And the Clippers, on the other hand, are allowing a little bit more than them, but for the most part, still pretty close to middle tier. So no big edge on the pull-up shooting or on the catch and shoot shooting. Now let's go to pull-up shooting. Lakers are allowing the 7th most last 15 games, and it's looking like it's more in the 2-point pull-ups rather than the 3-point pull-ups. So for the Clippers, very good for Kawhi Leonard, especially with Paul George out. I would say less good for James Harden because he also relies on free throws and more pull-up threes. Lakers don't foul a lot, and they're going to allow more pull-up twos than threes. And Clippers in the pull-up department, we'll pull that up. They're a little better than average, but nothing crazy there. Now let's go check shots within 10 feet. Clippers are allowing the third most in the last 15 games, while the Lakers are also a little bit worse than average, which is, again, changes a lot from earlier in the season where they were pretty much top 3 in field goal attempts allowed near the rim. So versus the Lakers, we want to target pull-up twos. Versus the Clippers, we want to target shots within 10 feet. That's Anthony Davis and LeBron for the Lakers, maybe even some Rui Hachimura. And that is, what's it called? For against the Lakers. That's Kawhi versus the Lakers. So now let's go to play types and see if that backs anything. So we can see percentile defense. Lakers are among the bottom 10 teams at defending ISOs. Clippers not too far behind at 12th worst. I think that was 12. I didn't count. Now let's check transition defense. I'm expecting the Lakers to be bad here. Yeah, Lakers allowing the 4th most transition points per game this season. Clippers also actually not too far behind, so this could be a faster paced game than we'd expect from a Clippers game, honestly. Now, pick and roll ball handler. Lakers are among one of the top 10 best. Clippers are not too far behind them, but a little bit close to league average. So, again, doesn't help Harden, but outside of that, doesn't sway me too much for anybody. Now we can check the roll man. So this is your Anthony Davis and Zubac. Lakers are I want to say that's 10, 11, 12th worst in the NBA. So good for Zubac. And the Clippers are one of the league's best. So that's where it gets bad for Anthony Davis. And the last thing we can check is handoffs. And again, we can check if either of these teams are actually running it. Clippers aren't running it at all. I think Lakers, they're low, but I want to say they've been running it more I haven't been watching enough to know for sure, but I know Anthony Davis's assist numbers have gone up, and I can only assume that's off of handoffs. So that's everything we need to cover. Now let's go to DraftKings and get our favorite picks in. So what I've been liking to do, or what I've been doing that I've found to be more successful, is I pick one pick from each game rather than trying to make a full lay. And depending on how comfortable I am with the lines, sometimes I'll water them down. For Zion, we can check Zion last 12 games log with Ingram. Because I want to see if there's value in the 23 line or if we water it down to 20. And honestly, it's looking like we watered it down to 20 because he has a decent bit where he's finishing at 23, 21, 23, 19, 21. So maybe we get a nice little. Yesterday we hit a plus 200 lay. I think today we might stick closer to plus 100. So let's see. Zion 20 plus is minus 275. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And again, I'm just on DraftKings since it's the easiest UI. Everybody knows it when I'm on stream. But as soon as the video's over, I go and find which site has the best odds and I lock it in there. So make sure you go. I'll post it on Pickit so you guys know exactly which book I took it. So if you're not on Pickit, make sure you go do that. But yeah, Zion 20 plus, and then Lakers Clippers. I'd probably think Kawhi. We can check one more thing before we make a decision here because, like we said, rebounds and assists are in play in this matchup. So let's see. Versus Los Angeles Lakers all season, or let's go to LA Clippers. Let's see if anybody has crazy potential assists or rebound chances. Los Angeles Lakers and LA Clippers. And again, I know this move's kind of slow sometimes, especially in periods like this, but the whole point is for you guys to see exactly how I'm doing everything from A to Z. Like, you guys are seeing me research live. I didn't look at any of this before, and that's the whole point. So Harden has a lot of potential assists, 14 potential assists, but his line is probably like 8.5 if I had to guess. So it's not too much value. There's not too much value on either. Yeah, 8.5 juice over. Obviously, this is with Paul George, but Kawhi has 7 potential assists, so his 3.5 line could be nice, especially because he has good home away splits. So that's one we could entertain. But outside of that, there's no real edge on the assist props on the Clippers side. Now we can switch it around, see if we can find anything on the Lakers side. LeBron 12, nothing crazy there. D'Lo 11.7. I think his line's 5.5. Let's see. Yeah, 5.5. So there could be some value there. We're looking at D'Lo and Kawhi so far on the passing department. And then we can check rebounds. That'll be the last thing we check before we go in and start making up our mind a little bit here. But as always, I want to make sure we're covering all our bases because I'd rather hit the card than not, obviously. Anthony Davis, 21 rebound chances, 10.7 rebounds. We can see what his rebound line is. That's too high for that. We can check LeBron, 13 rebound chances, only 10 rebounds. That is that's too efficient for comfort. I've seen a lot of people in the community on his rebounds. At 6.5, I could get behind it because that's obviously much lower than 13. So at 6.5, that could be good. Um, Outside of that, though, let's check where Rui is. In 30 minutes, he only got 6 rebound chances. That's not ideal. Excuse me. D'Lo, 2.5, 4.5 rebound chances. So nothing crazy on the Lakers side outside of maybe LeBron. And on the Clippers side, let's see who has the gorgeous rebound chances. Zubac has 25.5. Good God. 9.5 is very, very good right there. I want to check something. 19, 9, 13, 8, 17. That's pretty solid. Especially, that's crazy. I want to see how much he got in this November game to see maybe if it's all loaded into one side or one game, and that's what's skewing the numbers. But if November had like 18 rebound chances and 8 rebounds, I'm going to take it. 20, yeah. So Zubac is a great play as well. I'm just going to put all these in and narrow it down at the end because I don't want to lose track of what we like and what we don't like. And LeBron. And then we also liked Kawhi points. So let me see Kawhi without Paul George. Paul George log this season. I want to see if there's more edge on his. There's only been 2 games, 3 and 2 assists. That's home. Let me just put in general. 20, 31, 30, 27. He shot 7 of 18 this game, 0 for 3 from 3. So 3, 4, 5, and 2 on the assist department. That's tougher. And we can come here to court IQ and see who really does the best when Paul George is off the court. So where's Paul George? Let's do James Harden and Kawhi both on because that's probably what it's gonna. They're gonna get enough minutes. We can do Zubac too because I don't want to get any of those Plumlee minutes in. That love Plumlee, but that offense should be changing with him in. Where's Kawhi? There's Kawhi. And we can check standards. So per 36 stats this season, Kawhi's averaging 23 points and 2.6 assists. That's not ideal. Zubac is averaging almost 12 rebounds. And I think that was it on that side. So I think we can get rid of any Kawhi props. And we're down to Zubac rebounds, D'Lo assists, and LeBron rebounds. I want to see the passing stats for D'Lo and LeBron, like let's check the last 5 games. Lakers. Telling you guys, I want to hit this. So LeBron only 7.3 rebound chance the last few games. I don't love that. So I'm going to get rid of that one, even though I know a lot of people are on it. And we can check the passing stats for D'Lo. Last 5 games and LA Lakers. I think LeBron missed one though, so we're going to have to take it with a grain of salt. 12.4. LeBron missed 2 games. So let's see. Russell with LeBron log. Let's see which games we should look at. We can look at 23, 25, so we have to look at last 2. That's what it is. So 11.0 is still solid. And then I guess the last thing we can look at is the shot zones. So we can check Russell. I can almost assume almost all of his assists come inside 10 feet. I'm actually pretty certain about that because I've looked at it before. Assists, he's at 345 this season. 235 are coming as 2s, 157 at the rim. So yeah, almost 60, oh, a little, probably around 60% of his assists are coming within 10 feet of the basket. And then we can check Zubac where his rebounds are coming from. For centers, it's usually with shots at the rim. And I like to look at defensive rebound percentage. What I'll do is I'll come here, 2-point defensive rebound percentage, so shots on, or not 2-point, field goal defensive rebound percentage. So he gets 23.3% of his team's rebounds when he's on the floor. Then we can look at shot zones to see where he's getting the bulk of them. So above the break threes, he's surprisingly getting a higher percentage, but for the most part, it's pretty spread out. So there's no huge edge there, really. If we want to check 2-point, 3-point rebound, yeah, he's actually getting more rebounds off threes, which is very interesting, actually. So if that's the case, I honestly might go D'Lo, especially 7-6, 3-5, 6-4, 5-5. We can probably buy an assist to get it down to 5 and make it more playable with that Zion play that we already watered down as well. So let's see, Russell assists with LeBron and Anthony Davis. And we'll go 4.5. How many minutes has he been playing lately? 20, pretty much a floor of 30. So let's put that in. So yeah, 20 of 24 in the season when he plays with both, and he has 30 plus minutes. This one's home. That was home, home, away. And if we want to do, I'm trying to think who else might be important in the lineup. Austin Reeves. Cam Reddish might return today. That would be, if Cam Reddish returns today, that would be killer because it might hurt his minutes. Well, hold on. Was he starting these games when Cam Reddish was healthy? So I'm pretty sure this was his first game where he started. And then it got really murky really fast. So if we have, let's see if there's any update on Cam Reddish. Hopeful injury return update. He practiced. So maybe we'll go Zubac then. Those rebound chances are too good to pass up. And let's see. What is an alt line for Zubac looking like? 8 plus is 310. 8.5 is minus 190. What does that lay look? Plus 108. All right. So it's plus 108 on DraftKings. I'll look to see on other sites if we can get better odds than this. But I will be putting 1 unit on it. So for me, that's 100. For you, that might be something else. But let me get this a little bit bigger for you guys to see. And I'll zoom in. So that's what the lay is going to be. Zion 20 plus, Zubac 8.5 rebounds. And outside of that, my only update of the day for you guys is it's this right here. Jason Kidd went out of his way to say that Kyrie Irving needs the ball more in the fourth quarter. And this happened a few days ago, but I wanted to see how he was going to do in the Cleveland game to see if he'd follow through on this. I expect it to be a close game. And, well, he had 10 points in 12 minutes, 7 field goal attempts, 3 threes. So that looks to be a true statement. And I think in close games, we're going to see it a lot. And I'm pretty sure they get the Raptors today, which is going to be another close game. Just the Raptors, while losing a lot of games, they've been in a lot of close games. So should they keep it close today, especially with Dallas on the second leg of a back-to-back, Kyrie has another chance of having a strong fourth quarter. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But other than that, good luck today. Hopefully the parlay hits, and we're all sitting happy watching nationally televised game on back-to-back nights. Good luck, and I will see you guys on the stream later and potentially another video breaking down my favorite picks of the day. Take care, everybody.